My friend, do you remember what happened after the great waters covered the earth? The ground was soaked and the air still heavy with rain. Noah stepped off the ark, built an altar, and the smoke curled into the sky like incense. And Yahweh, in his mercy, made a vow. He said, "Never again will I destroy all flesh by floodwaters. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, day and night shall never cease." And to mark his promise, he hung his warrior's bow in the sky, not stretched tight for war, but set aside, unstrung, pointed away from earth. The rainbow was his sign. And what was Noah's part? Yahweh said, "Honor life. Do not shed innocent blood. Do not eat blood with the meat. Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth." So the vow was made. Yahweh promised to preserve the rhythms of creation. Humanity promised to guard life within those rhythms. Generations passed. Yahweh spoke to a man named Abram and took him outside under the deep night. "Look at the stars. Count them if you can. So shall your descendants be." Abram believed him, and Yahweh counted that trust as righteousness. Later, Yahweh told Abram to cut animals in two. Their bodies lay opposite each other, forming a blood path. Abram fell into a dreadful sleep, and a smoking fire pot and blazing torch, signs of Yahweh himself, passed between the pieces. Yahweh bound himself by oath even as Abram slept. Yahweh's vow was this: "I will give you land. I will make you a great nation. Through your seed all nations will be blessed." Abram's vow was this: "Walk before me and be wholehearted. Trust my word. Carry the sign of circumcision in your flesh and mark your house with my covenant. The stars, the sand, and the scar in the flesh, all signs of the bond between Yahweh and Abraham's household." Abraham's children grew into a nation, enslaved in Egypt. Yahweh delivered them with a mighty hand, brought them through the sea, and carried them to Sinai. The mountain thundered, trumpets blasted, fire and cloud covered the peak. The people trembled at the base. Yahweh had already rescued them. Now he offered them covenant. He said, "If you obey my voice and keep my covenant, you will be my treasured possession, a kingdom of priests, a holy nation." The people cried out, "All that Yahweh has spoken, we will do." The covenant was sealed with blood. Moses sprinkled half on the altar and half on the people, saying, "Behold the blood of the covenant." Then the elders climbed, saw the God of Israel on a sapphire-like pavement, and they ate and drank in his presence. It was a wedding feast. Vows spoken, blood shed, a meal shared. Yahweh vowed his presence and blessing. The people vowed loyalty. No other gods, no carved images, no turning aside. They vowed to love Yahweh with all their heart, soul, and strength, and to love their neighbor as themselves. Time passed. Israel wanted a king. Yahweh gave them David, the shepherd who became king. David longed to build Yahweh a house of cedar, but Yahweh said, "Did I ask for a house? I will build you a house." His vow was this: "I will raise up your seed after you. I will establish your throne forever. I will be a father to your sons, and though they may stumble, my covenant love will never depart." The human vow was this: the king and people must walk in Yahweh's ways. They must rule with justice, shepherd with care, and trust Yahweh above horses, chariots, or foreign alliances. The picture of this covenant was a lamp kept burning in Jerusalem, a throne that storms could not overturn. It was kingdom-shaped. Yahweh promised enduring rule, and his people promised faithful kingship and following. And then, children, came the night of Passover. Yeshua gathered his disciples in an upper room. He took bread, broke it, and said, "This is my body, given for you." He took the cup after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." Soon after, he walked to a hill, lifted onto an etz, a tree. His blood sealed the covenant. On the third day, the garden sang with resurrection. Weeks later, Ruach, the breath of Yahweh, filled the disciples with fire and speech. The covenant spread like seed to the nations. Yahweh's vow in Yeshua was this: I will forgive your sins and remember them no more. I will write my Torah on your hearts. I will pour out my Ruach. I will be your Elohim, and you will be my people, Jew and Gentile, one family. The human vow was this: trust Yeshua, the covenant keeper. Walk by the Ruach, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Love one another as he loved us. Welcome as we have been welcomed. Carry the good news to the ends of the earth. And the sign? Bread and cup, a table where all may sit, a covenant meal of belonging. Do you see it now? From Noah's rainbow to Abraham's stars, from Sinai's fire to David's throne, from Yeshua's table to this very gathering, it is the same covenant thread. Always two vows Yahweh pledges: life, presence, blessing, and forgiveness. Humans pledge loyalty, trust, love, and obedience. Always a sign: rainbow, stars, blood, throne, and bread and cup. Something you can see, touch, taste, remember. This is what it means to walk uprightly, according to the gospel, the good news. To live in line with Yahweh's welcome through Yeshua. To treat all as he treats them. To open our tent as he opens his. To give bread and wine instead of crumbs and scraps. My friend, Yahweh has cut covenant with you. His vows are sure. Will you answer with yours? Will you walk the trail of faithfulness, straight and steady, under his tent?